Abusive mom had me disowned by entire family and banned from grandfather's funeral. This woman is insane. She has her entire side of the family wrapped around her finger despite her being completely unhinged and psychopathic. She abused me and my sibling our entire lives, but she got less physical as she aged, and I thought she'd fixed herself. Turns out she just got sneaky. She's always telling lies that make herself out to be some victim, and over recent years she's decided that I'm the one she wants to portray as her abuser since I became vocal about her abuse of myself. I cut contact with her a year ago when I found out she was drip-feeding my family lies about me. Nasty stuff like she was raising my children because I'd abandoned them. She lived on my street, so she just saw them for a few mins every other day. She'd been telling the family that I had terrible mental illness and not to bother me, explaining why most of them had barely returned my calls or messages in months. When I told them about my mother's lies, they looked at me like I was having an episode, and no one supported me. My grandfather died a week ago. He was my absolute world. I'm devastated about it. Then a few days ago, I get a call from my mother telling me that I've been disowned and I'm banned from attending the funeral. Her story as to why did not make sense whatsoever, and she flitted between telling me my grandmother must have said I'm disowned because she's mentally ailing, and mentioning that I'd said that my late son was not allowed to be mentioned in the funeral service. This absolutely did not happen. I never said this, to be clear. All of my family have blocked me, refusing to answer voicemails, calls, texts, the door, etc. to me. None of them even bothered to contact me to ask me what happened, and none of them will hear my side. They just took her at her word that I'm this monster after probably years of groundwork was laid by my mother. I have no clue what she said or done, but I have done nothing to warrant this. Zero drama, zero negative words crossed. I sent flowers, sympathy cards, called and gave condolences to everyone just before this kicked off, and everyone was kind and receptive. Unfortunately, I know that she has likely made up some terrible lie, hurting my bereaved elderly grandmother at the time of a most devastating loss, as well as the rest of my family by stirring up drama in my name that I'm completely innocent of. She's robbed me of my ability to say my last goodbye to my grandfather. She's robbed me of the rest of my family. She has them all believing that I'm some monster, and the worst part is I don't even know what she's accusing me of because it was clearly so bad that they've all got me blocked on everything and are refusing to return my calls and messages even when I've explained I have no idea what is going on. Her last control over me was to devastate my grandmother in my name, ruin my reputation, and break my heart by causing me to be disowned and banned from the funeral. I'm at a literal snapping point now. She's gone too far, smashing her windows and flooding the house with a hose pipe for the 5 hours she'll be at the funeral isn't enough. Help me out here. What can I do to make this thing suffer without landing myself in prison? Hell, I have a clean record, and I'd probably get off without prison time for most crimes at this point, so I'm open to suggestions. I beg of you, this woman needs comeuppance.